Welcome back to Racing in the Draft. My name is Mark, and I am headed to Martinsville here very shortly. As soon as I get this video edited and posted, I will be off to Martinsville to watch Cup practice and qualifying and the Xfinity race, and it's going to be cold. Probably the coldest race. Probably the coldest race I've been to. I've been to cold races where I got there and it was 32 degrees, but it warmed up through the day into the 50s and 60s. This is going to be the opposite. I'm going to show up. It's going to be in the 60s and it's going to drop into the 30s. By the end of both races, it will be chilly. That's okay. I'll have a great time. I'll have some adult beverages and we'll watch some great racing. Last night's almost wreck fest for the Truck Series was quite entertaining. Hopefully we won't see quite that much carnage, but it's Martinsville. It's short track. I expect we may see something similar. But either way, last week's event when I went to the local track here at Richmond, I think we saw more cautions in the truck race than we did all weekend for the three races I went to. One of them being the Cup race, which without listening to the radio and the guys from MRN actually talking through all the different pit strategies and where people were, if you were just in the stands and not listening to somebody, you had to be completely lost. It was exciting, it was fun, but it was, I think one of the guys on the radio said it was like a pitching duel of a 1-0 baseball game. And I've been to those before. They're fun if you're a big pitching guy, but if you're a big hitting guy, not as much fun. Either way, it was still exciting racing. It was tight. It was close. They beat, they banged. They just didn't wreck, which actually is not a bad thing because you're not tearing up equipment, and these guys can't really be tearing up equipment. They're still having supply issues and things of that nature. So, to make sure you still have great racing on the track, I'm kind of glad they didn't tear stuff up, but I'm kind of in agreement with everybody else. I think the Richmond track has slowed down to a point, and the tire wear has gotten fairly severe that maybe it is time for a repave on that track. Hopefully they don't do anything strange and reconfigure it, because I think it's a great track the way it is, but maybe it is time for a repave at the old Richmond Raceway, the Virginia Fairgrounds as it used to be called. But either way, headed to Martinsville here shortly. Let's take a look at what happened at Richmond last week before we dive into this week at Martinsville. So last week at Richmond, optimal lineups looked like this. Neither first nor second made the optimal lineup, but we did have three-ish dominators. I said we need to hone in on two, and 63 out of 400, that's a slight domination when it just was all pit cycled. If they had tradition cautions, every 60, 70 laps, honestly, I think Ryan Blaney may have been last of the field, or Martin Truex Jr., but Denny Hamlin was stellar. He took a gamble, pitted with 50 or so laps to go, and literally ran down the leader where he was a lap down in 50 laps. So tires were of the utmost importance, and William Byron gambled and didn't quite pay off for him, but still pretty good points day and for him and for DraftKings. So you ended up having Martin Jr. Christopher Bell in your lineup. Probably had a pretty good day. Either way, we had two place differential drivers. Alex Bowman starting 28th. That was low-hanging fruit. And Austin Dillon coming from 25th to 10th. I think I talked about him in the video that he should do fairly well, and he did. Two finishers in the top 5, and we would have had $400 left on the optimal lineup. And our update on our 2022 optimal lineup challenge race after 7 races. Ross Chastain still at the top spot. Daniel Suarez and Eric Almirola hanging in for second, and William Byron now joining him with 3. I'll let you take a look at the rest. Don't need to walk your way through those. All right, we are at Martinsville, the scene of Denny Hamlin being displeased with Alex Bowman last fall. As you can see, they decided to butt heads or butt bumpers at afterwards. Denny Hamlin kind of spoiling the burnout session for Alex Bowman. I think that was quite appropriate from Denny, but hey, it's Denny. Alright, we are headed to Martinsville, the Blue-Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400. God, can they shorten these darn names? Way too long. But either way, this is the first time since the 50s that they're going to run a 400 lap race. But either way, we are at the Paperclip, as they call it. It's a short track, very flat, 12 degrees in the turns, 5.26 miles in length, 400 laps instead of traditional 500, and it's going to be a night race. Dominator points will be identical to what they were last week because we're running the same amount of laps, 280. Laps led will equal 100, and fast laps will equal 180. So once again, we are looking to hone in on at least 2 dominators, maybe 2.5 dominators. We'll kind of go through the last 4 races at Martinsville and kind of look at that too. But 400 laps really tends to be at least 2 dominators. We're probably looking for maybe 2 place differentials, and then 2 guys that are going to finish in the top 10 that may start in the top 10. They may not lead a whole lot of laps, but they may just consistently be there. Kevin Harvick held to that. Don't know where they qualified yet, but we are looking at qualifying and practice this afternoon. So our comparison tracks are the same as last week. We're using Richmond, Martinsville, Phoenix, and Bristol. We do use a little bit of Loudon. I just didn't want to put a 5th picture in there, but Loudon and the one race from New Hampshire last year. All right, and the real reason you guys showed up is to go through the driver breakdown. Remember, this is pre-qualifying, pre-practice, so we don't know their starting spots, and their power ranking will change somewhat, little, a lot, or not much at all, depending on where they start. I mean, even if Martin Truex Jr., because he does race so well here at Martinsville, even if he does start in the top 3, he probably won't change much more than a position on the power ranking. So either way, once again, I'll go through this real quick. Up here on this side of the dash is the last 5 races at Martinsville. And if they were racing in all of those, as their wins, top 5, top 10, top 20s, their DraftKings average, and their average finish. Then the next spot in yellow is their last finish, which is the fall race at Martinsville. Then in the top right corner is the number of times they have started a cup race at Martinsville and their stats to the right of the hash. 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 19 top 20s. So not going to go through that for each one of these, but as we're going through it, you'll know what I'm talking about. By the way, Martin Truex Jr., $11,500. Very expensive. I mean, $1,000 more than last week's most expensive person. I don't like the pricing this week very much that DraftKings did. I liked it much cheaper and much more tight across the field. But either way, we can make it work. Martin Truex Jr., $11,500. Hey, he's not as expensive as Kyle Busch was at $15,000, which definitely was not a good play last night in the Truck Series, where he finished top 5, but starting second, didn't lead any or any laps. So that was a big waste of $15,000 if you took him. But Martin Truex Jr., $11,500, 3 wins in the last 5 races at Martinsville. Maybe that's why it's so expensive. 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, 4 top 20s, 105.7 DraftKings average, and a 5.8 average finish. Finished 4th here in the fall race last year. And we went through the stats: 32 total starts, 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 19 top 20s. Chase Elliott, 11,200, and 3rd on our power ranking this week. 1 win in the last 5 starts, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 4 top 20s, a 76.9 DraftKings average, and a 62.0 average finish. He finished 16th here in the fall race last year. 13 total starts with 1 win, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 9 top 20s. Ryan Blaney, 10,900. First on our power ranking. He's off to a heck of a good start to this year, but does not have a win in the last 5, or actually doesn't have a win here at Martinsville yet at all, but 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 5 top 20s in the last 5 starts. 62.0 DraftKings average, 6.2 average finish. He finished 11th here in the fall race last year. 12 total starts here at Martinsville with 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and 10 top 20s. Alright, next in line here, Kyle Larson, 10,600, 5th on the power ranking this week. In the last 5 starts, no wins, but 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, 51.8 DraftKings average, and a 9.3 average finish. Kyle finished 14th here in the fall race last year. 14 total starts for Kyle. And out of those 14, he has 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 8 top 20s. Maybe he can get his first grandfather clock this year. Denny Hamlin, 10,300. 9th on our power ranking in the last 5 starts at Martinsville. No wins, but 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 60.5 DraftKings average, a 13.2 average finish. And he finished 24th here after getting moved out of the way by Alex Bowman when he was running in first and second. 32 total starts here and leading the pack with 5 wins at Martinsville. Man, it's a lot of grandfather clocks. That place, his house has to be noisy at the top of every hour. Either way, 5 wins, 15 top 5s, 22 top 10s, and 25 top 20s out of 32 total starts. Pretty impressive, Dan. Kyle Busch, 10,000, 8th on our power ranking. 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, 5 top 20s, a 37.3 DraftKings average, and a 10.8 average finish. He finished 2nd here in the fall race last year. 2 total wins to his record out of 33 total starts at the Paperclip. 16 top 5s, 19 top 10s, and 25 top 20s for Kyle Busch. Pretty solid stats for Kyle. Not quite as good as Denny's, but pretty solid. Joey Logano, 9,700. And in the last 5 races here at Martinsville, no wins, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, 5 top 20s, 59.8 DraftKings average, and a 6.2 average finish. Finished 10th here in the fall, and out of his 26 total starts at Martinsville, he does have 1 win, 8 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and 20 top 20s. Next in line here, William Byron, 9,500, and the winner in the Truck Series last night. That's a pretty good practice in there, Mr. Byron. Fourth on our power ranking. He was racing really well last week too at Richmond, so William Byron's running pretty well. Ran a lot of short tracks, kind of in the off season, and on some of his free time, he's been running some short tracks, late model, and some modifieds and things. So William Byron's starting to get a hold of this whole short track thing. Either way, William Byron in the last 5 starts at Martinsville, no wins, but 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, 4 top 20s, a 42.9 DraftKings average, and a 10.8 average finish. Finished 5th here in the fall race last year. 8 total starts at Martinsville, and 3 out of those 8, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 5 top 20s. Alex Bowman, 9,300, our winner from the fall race last year, 6th on the power ranking. Does have 1 win in the last 5, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 37.9 DraftKings average, and a 15.4 average finish. That he finished first here last year in the fall race. 12 total starts to his resume with 1 top 5, 4 top 10s, and 6 top 20s. Christopher Bell, 9,100, 15th on the power ranking, and in the last 5 starts for Christopher, he has 1 top 10, 3 top 20s, a 31.6 DraftKings average, and a 16.8 average finish. He finished 17th here in the fall race last year, and he has 4 total starts here at Martinsville with the same stats. Top 10, 3 top 20s. Ross Chastain, who's been off to a great start this year, struggled a little bit last week at Richmond. Kind of expecting the same this week. But I don't know. He's been running pretty well, so don't completely fade on Ross yet. Let's see where he practices and qualifies. 8,800, 11th on the power ranking, and out of the last 5 races, he started 3 times with 1 top 20, a 22.3 DraftKings average, a 24.3 average finish. 6 total starts here at Martinsville with 1 top 20, and he finished 27th here in the fall race last year. I only worry about Ross is he's been kind of, how to put it, he's been rough with a lot of drivers, and Martinsville short track may be a perfect spot for retaliation. So it's going to be real interesting to see where he practices and qualifies on how much ownership I have of Ross. Tyler Reddick, 8,600, 14th on our power ranking. Short tracks are not his expertise, but he's getting better at them. So either way, in the last 5 starts at Martinsville, no top 5s, 1 top 10, 3 top 20s, a 27.2 DraftKings average, and a 16.5 average finish. He finished 18th here in the fall race last year. 4 total starts with the same stats, 1 top 10, 3 top 20. Kevin Harvick, 8,400, 10th on our power ranking, and in the last 5 races here at Martinsville, 2 top 10s, 5 top 20s, a 33.8 DraftKings average, and a 12.0 average finish. Finished 12th fall race last year. 41 total starts to his resume with 1 win, 5 top 10s, 19 top 20s, top 10s, and 31 top 20s. Chase Briscoe, 8,200, 17th on our power ranking. 2 total starts here at the Paperclip with a 16.0 DraftKings average and a 24.5 average finish. He finished 22nd here in the fall race last year. Once again, 2 total starts, no top 20s. Kurt Busch, $88,000, just $8,000. 16th on the power ranking, and in the last 5 races here at Martinsville, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s, 4 top 20s, 41.1 DraftKings average, 9.6 average finish. Finished 7th here in the fall race last year. 42 times starting here at Martinsville with 1 win, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, and 24 top 20s. All right, next in line here, Brad Keselowski, 7,900. Poor guy. That team looks like the penalty will be upheld, which was 100 points, $100,000, all sorts of fines and penalizations and all that fun stuff. So Brad's got a hole to dig out of. But his stats at Martinsville might help him just do that. 13th on the power ranking, and out of the last 5 starts at Martinsville, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s, 4 top 20s, at 38.8 DraftKings average, 9.2 average finish. Finished 3rd here in the fall race last year. 24 total starts at Martinsville for Brad, with 2 wins, 11 top 5s, 16 top 10s, and 19 top 20s. Austin Dillon, 7,700, 18th on the power ranking, and in the last 5 starts, 2 top 20s, 20.1 DraftKings average, and a 21.8 average finish. Finished 13th here in the fall race last year. 15 total starts at Martinsville with 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 9 top 20s. Eric Almirola, 7,500, 12th on our power ranking. Eric's actually really good at short, flat tracks. Was having an okay weekend last weekend, so I expect Eric to kind of get back to his top 10 potential ways here at Martinsville. Either way, in the last 5 starts, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 24.8 DraftKings average, and a 20.6 average finish. He finished 6th here in the fall race last year. 26 total starts with 1 top 5, 5 top 10s, 15 top 20s. Austin Cindric, 7,300, his first time starting in the Cup Series here at Martinsville. No real stats. Um, yeah, I don't love Austin Cindric in this point, but it also depends on where he practices and qualifies. He qualifies up towards the front. I'm not sure how much ownership I would have of Austin, so be wary. I don't know if this car, he hadn't quite figured out this car yet. He's been fast at times, but it doesn't seem like he does super well towards the tail end of these races. Same here with Eric Jones, Brecky Jones. 7,100 always seems to, I guess lately he hasn't been so bad. But either way, Eric Jones 7,100, and in the last 5 starts at Martinsville has 1 top 10, 4 top 20s, a 25.2 DraftKings average, and an 18.0 average finish. 19th on that power ranking. Finished 8th here in the fall race last year. 10 total starts here for Eric with 1 top 10, 6 top 20s. Chris Buescher, $7,000. 22nd on the power ranking, and he in the last 5 starts here at Martinsville has no top 5s, 1 top 10, 4 top 20s, 17.0 DraftKings average, and a 30.4 average finish. He finished 9th here in the fall race last year. Pretty good finish there for Chris after looking at his average finish. 13 total starts at Martinsville with 1 top 10, 6 top 20s. Daniel Suarez, 6,800, 21st on the power ranking this week. No top 20s for Daniel here at Martinsville. 8.4 DraftKings average, 29th place average finish. Finished 28th here in the fall race. Stats do not look good here at Martinsville for Daniel Suarez. But I remember watching, and he always seems to drive fairly well here and just have bad luck. So maybe Daniel could turn his luck around this weekend. 10 total starts with 2 top 10s and 4 top 20s. AJ Allmendinger, 6,600. Doesn't have a start here in the last 5, but because this is second go around at Cup, where he took some time off, he does have 21 total starts here at Martinsville with 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 14 top 20s. Unless AJ starts really far in the back, I'm not going to have any ownership of AJ. This type of track just does not suit him. He likes things a little bit faster, more mile and halves, road courses, those types of things suit AJ much better. So, unless he qualifies really poorly, not sure how much ownership I'll have of AJ. Bubba Wallace, 6,400, 20th on the power ranking. And out of the last 5 races here at Martinsville, 3 top 20s, 37.1 DraftKings average, and a 17.2 average finish. Finished 25th here in the fall race last year. 8 starts at Martinsville with 4 top 20s. Now, Bubba does have a grandfather clock, but he got that in the Truck Series here at Martinsville a few years ago. So Bubba does actually fairly well on these short tracks. Short tracks and super speedways, kind of in Bubba's wheelhouse. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 6,300, 24th on the power ranking, and out of the last 5 starts here at Martinsville, he has 4 top 20s, 23.8 DraftKings average, and an 18th place average finish. Finished 19th here in the fall race last year. 18 total starts with 2 top 10s, 9 top 20s. Cole Custer, 6,100, 28 on the power ranking, and out of the last 5 starts here, he has 2 top 20s, a 25.2 DraftKings average, 20.8 average finish. He finished 23rd here in the fall race last year. 4 total starts for Cole with the 2 top 20s. Justin Haley, 5,900, 27th on our power ranking, has a total of 2 starts here at Martinsville, the 7.5 DraftKings average, and a 33.0 average finish, and has not finished in the top 20. Michael McDowell, 5,700. Like AJ, Michael just does not do well at these short tracks. I'm not saying he won't do something this weekend, but stats don't lie. 25th on the power ranking, 1 top 20 in the last 5 starts, 12.8 DraftKings average, a 24.4 average finish. He finished 26th here in the fall race last year. 21 total starts with only 2 top 20s. Michael McDowell is kind of in the same boat as AJ, unless they just have a really bad qualifying or something happens, they've got to start 33rd or worse, I probably won't have much ownership of Michael or AJ. Harrison Burton, 5600, grew up right down the road, South Boston, so should be pretty familiar with this, and actually races really well here at Martinsville, at least in the Xfinity races he did. But 32nd on the power ranking. Depending on where he qualifies and depending on how he practices will depend on ownership with Harrison Burton, because as you see, no stats Cup Series. Ty Dillon, 5,500 at 29th on our power ranking, and out of the last 3 starts here at Martinsville has one top 20 at 28.3 DraftKings average and a 20.7 average finish. Did not race the fall race last year here, but has 8 total starts here at Martinsville with 3 top 20s. Corey LaJoie, 5,300, 26th on the power ranking. In the last 5 starts here at Martinsville, Corey's got 2 top 20s, a 23.8 DraftKings average, a 25.2 average finish. Finished 21st here in the fall race last year. 8 total starts with 2 top 20s. Todd Gilliland, 5,200. Don't have any stats on Todd, but Todd does race fairly well, at least he did in the Truck Series here at Martinsville. So he's not familiar with Martinsville, just new to the Cup Series. So depending on where he qualifies and practices and all that fun stuff, we'll see. But right now, 30th on the power ranking. All right, Josh Bilicki, 5,000, 34th on the power ranking, 3 total starts, 30th place average finish, and finished 35th here in the fall. We're going to cruise through guys because they probably aren't going to be somebody that I'm targeting looking at, even though when we look at the optimal lineups, it was a little bit of a surprise. JJ Yaley, 4,900, 36th on the power ranking, average finish for 28.8. BJ McLeod, 4,100, 3 total starts, 3 total starts here at Martinsville, no top 20s, at 28.3 average finish. And last but not least, rounding out the field, Cody Ware, 4,700, 2 total starts, 29.0 average finish, and finished 30th here in the fall race last year. Let's look at our optimal lineups for Martinsville from 2021 or last year. In the fall race, Chase Elliott definitely was a dominator with 289 laps led, 97 fast laps. Started second, but faded at the end and finished 16th. Alex Bowman, who started 13th, made it up to first, only led 9 laps. Eric Almirola, 23rd, would be one of our place differential guys. Eric Jones was a place differential. Kyle Busch was just a solid finish, was second. And Chris Buescher finishing 9th. So 433.5. Remember, they raced 500 laps instead of 400 laps. So 1 dominator, 3 place differentials, 2 values, and 2 finishes, and used all of the money up. Kind of a theme here. Used all that money. We used all that money up if you put the optimal lineup in. Martinsville in the spring race, another 500 laps. We had 2 dominators, 2 place differentials, 2 values, and 2 people who finished in the top 5. One of them being Denny Hamlin, starting second and finishing third, led 276 laps. Ryan Blaney, starting fourth, ended up finishing 11th, but led 157 laps. And Martin Truex Jr., with starting 7th, finishing first, only leading 20 laps. But, look at there, Josh Bilicki and Quinn Hoff made the optimal lineup, because you had to spend way up to get to Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney. So we had to save some money to make that optimal lineup work. Josh Bilicki and Quinn Hoff, the 2 cheapest drivers. In doing so, we used all $50,000 if you put that optimal lineup in. Alright, in the fall race at Martinsville last year, 500 laps, we had 1 dominator, Chase Elliott, 2 place differentials, Matt Kenseth and Ty Dillon, 3 value picks, and 3 finishings. 1 first, second, and third. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Joey Logano. So finishing spot is key here. Dominators are key here. And place differentials will definitely be something we need to find 1 or 2 of. But really looking at who runs well here, who can keep themselves in a top 10 or top 5 position, who can vie for that win in the most laps. Next, on that one, we also used all of our money. So that's 3 lineups that are optimal lineups in a row that we used all the money. Typically, that's not something we see. Now, the last one here, at Martinsville in the spring of 2000, 500 laps, we had $1,200 left over. But, as you can see again, we had 2 dominators, 2 place differentials, 2 value picks, and 4 people who finished in the top 5. Once again, it's all about finishing position here, a little bit about place differential, and a lot about dominating the field, or leading fast laps and laps led. Either way, here's the deal. I have Chromebook laptop that I'm going to take with me. I will try to see if I can do this through my Chromebook instead of through my racing PC, which has plenty of power and plenty of graphics and all that other stuff. I'm going to try to do a live or recorded session tomorrow, but I will be visiting a friend at his house. So I have no earthly idea on what type of video, or if any video, that I can get posted before the Martinsville race tomorrow night. The biggest thing I keep telling you is we need to really hone in on those guys that have dominated before, that we think potentially could dominate again. Make sure you're tracking 5, 10, 20 lap averages in practice with these guys. Don't focus as much on our dominators, as our place differentials. There will be 2 or 3 that need to come from the back, but not something we need to wholeheartedly look at. We're really looking at who's going to start and finish in the top 10. But either way, if I get to make the video, I will definitely get it posted and out there to you guys on Saturday, hopefully with plenty of time. I've got to get plenty of time to get to the track on Saturday. So bear with me if I miss this week. I'm going to try my best. I would steal my wife's laptop, which is a PC based, but she needs it for this weekend. So I'm kind of on my own with my my Chromebook. So cross my fingers. I'll try to do my best to get a video out to you guys tomorrow. But either way, have a great time. It's going to be a great weekend at Martinsville. It is under the lights. It is only 400 laps, so lots of cool things. Tonight's race for the Xfinity Series is going to be cold and fun also, so make sure you tune into that. Probably a lot of beating and banging in that one for sure. And will Ty Gibbs keep on winning? That kid is fast. But either way, thanks for joining me. Check out the race this weekend. Good luck with your picks, and I will do my best to get a video out to you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.
Get a good deep breath. Get ready to roll here. Only about one thing tonight, getting the W, so got to be around at the end to do that. Get ready to roll tonight, boys. Let's go have some fun.
Don't get me any more fired up than I already am.
All the way to the checkered. You're fine. Nobody's got to run. Checker time, baby!
Hell yeah!
Proud of you there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day.
Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position. We'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
Great job, guys.
Excellent work, my man. Excellent work. Thank you.
Man, that's awesome. Set out with a goal, we got it here, bud. Thank you very much.
Really proud of you, man. Drove your butt off tonight. We had the fastest car here, bud.
Probably killed our deal there. Just feel like I gave one away.
Yeah, boys. Way to rebound. Great job. Great job, bud. Really good job. Appreciate you hanging in there with us all weekend. What a weekend. Good job. Thank you.